the middle. We're going to wait till he turns so we make sure we identify him correctly. Number 47 is Hokie Gajan, the tailback for LSU when they operate from scrimmage. To his right, LSU has some very unusual. I'm just watching how LSU has some unusual mannerisms. Notice how the movements are making here just before the kickoff. Leroy Jones and Jerry Murphy are the other two deep men for LSU. So we're delighted you're with us. Beautiful weather here in Orlando this evening, and here we go. And it will not be run out by Hokie Gajan. The touchback will mean that the LSU Tigers will put the ball in play, 1st and 10 from their own 20-yard line, and David Woodley, the senior from Shreveport, will be the starting quarterback. Number 27, Denny Swallow. There's the offensive line for LSU. Koch, Tully, the wide receivers, the very talented Carson, and there's the backfield. They'll operate out of the eye. Hernandez is a surprise starter at fullback. And there is Hernandez, getting about a yard and no more than that. And again, for those of you not acquainted with this LSU team, you're looking at the senior quarterback, David Woodley, who will be alternating with number 5, Steve Esminger, tonight. To the right is Jerry Murphy, number 29. 2nd and 8, LSU from the Tiger 22. This is the tailback. But meanwhile, we have at least 2 penalty flags down, and I think we must have had an offside against Wake Forest.
That looked like they're getting a little anxious.
Vacation of the Wake Forest defenders in a moment. LSU just underway from the Tangerine Bowl. 2nd down 3, Tiger 27-yard line. Woodley. The tailback is Leroy Jones. And no first down. Gain of about 1. Jones is a senior tailback from Baker, Louisiana, and he picked up just a yard, and LSU is running into a very swarming sort of a defense. There are the Wake Forest defenders. Wisher, Vance, Parker, one of the team leaders in tackles, Dwayne Creighton, the linebackers, Carlos Bradley, an outstanding defensive player, Mark Hester, the other linebacker, and there you have the defensive backfield. Now our first 3rd down situation of the game, 3rd and 2.5 for LSU, and 2 wide receivers, including Orlando McDaniel. The first down is complete to Murphy. The pass out to the 39-yard line, and Woodley is right on target with his first pass of the game, and a first down LSU at the Tiger 39.
Nothing but a quick slant on that play, Ray, and that was almost a give-up first down. The defenders were way off of the outside receivers. Woodley just stepped back and fired a football in it for the first down. Very fine call by Woodley and a fine throw.
The before mentioned Carlos Bradley, the junior linebacker, made their tackle. There's Murphy, wide to the right this time. The fullback. And Hernandez moves it out to within about a yard of a first down at the LSU 48-yard line. Every once in a while, when you get involved in a game like this with players that you don't see very often, I'll be double checking some pronunciations. For example, the fullback's first name, Hernandez, Jude Hernandez, number 13. That's Carlos Bradley you got a glimpse of there, the outstanding linebacker for Wake Forest. Hernandez is very close to a first down. I think he has it just shy of the 50-yard line.
Almost the same type of play, Ray. Excuse me for stepping in there. It was just trying to get that first down. He'd like to run something straight ahead or almost straight ahead, and that's the type of play they had on, just a power play over the left tackle, trying to get that first down.
Hernandez, Tiger 20 to the LSU 49-yard line, 1st and 10.
Ray, you mentioned Carlos Bradley. He had 90 solo tackles and 67 assists, so we're going to see plenty of him this evening.
Murphy is again out wide to the right. Hernandez trying to get outside. Whoop, that was a keeper by Woodley. He fooled me. I thought Hernandez had it, but Woodley kept it. And, of course, the LSU quarterbacks in their system run the ball a lot.
They do. Woodley is the better runner than the Emsinger is. Emsinger, I think they feel, is a better passer than Woodley. And you'll see Woodley primarily going from the I formation, going one way and coming back, going down the line of scrimmage on the option, trying to cut in or pitch the ball out.
Orlando McDaniel, number 32, just brought in the play and is lined up wide to the right. There he is. Second down, 7. That was McDaniel, and it's an LSU first down, and Woodley's right on target.
Orlando McDaniel, now watch on the isolation as he comes downfield. It's just a quick slant as Woodley comes down, and there's the ball. A fine reception by Orlando McDaniel, number 32, for a first down for the LSU.
Ball at the Wake Forest 38-yard line. Landon King, the sophomore safety out of Lexington, Kentucky, had to make the tackle. Hernandez finds a bit of a crack and about a 3-yard gain to the Wake Forest 35-yard line. Now we've played over 4 minutes, and LSU has controlled the ball since the opening kickoff.
I think you'll watch LSU come on down, continue to try to do the possession type stuff as they have been. A quick slants to both sides, and then run that ball with the fullback Hernandez and Gajan, and hopefully they can control the football, control the game.
Second down, 7. Woodley, and he hits Murphy, and it's another LSU first down.
Woodley right on the money with a pass, a good reception. Good reception. Woodley coming off from behind the line of scrimmage as we starts down the little bit of a sprint out, stops, makes the throw, and then is hit immediately after he throws the football.
Now LSU has sent in a junior wide receiver, number 21, Tracy Porter. So LSU's going with 3 wide receivers at the 22-yard line of Wake Forest. Big hole for Hernandez. And a gain of between 8 and 9 yards before Carlos Bradley made the tackle.
That offensive line of the LSU is really controlling the line of scrimmage. They're taking it right to Wake Forest and opening up some big gaping holes for Fernandez and giving Woodley some adequate pass protection. If Wake Forest is going to do anything at all, they have to get to Woodley and get penetration at the line of scrimmage.
Only 1 wide receiver this time. Second and 2. I believe that Carlos Carson, the intended receiver, might have been screened away from that just a bit when Eddie Green got his hand out in front of it.
He got his hand in there. It looked like he may have been able to make that catch, but as you say, it was screened. He didn't get a good sight on it.
That was Tracy Porter, by the way,
Tracy
the
Porter
intended
was
receiver.
back there, right.
3rd and 2 now at the 13-yard line of Wake Forest. We've played 5 minutes and 45 seconds. No score. Murphy is out wide to the left. Woodley, touchdown LSU.
Louisiana had their 2 tight end offense in that time, and then Woodley just went down the line of scrimmage, was looking to pitch the ball, continued to go. Everyone else was looking for the pitch man, and Woodley just broke through and made a fine run. It's now 6-0 Louisiana. LSU.
Barthel has been successful on 24 of 29 extra point attempts. The Tigers are right on target with their extra point. And there was ball control at its very best. We'll be back right as Kenny Duckett, a wide receiver. He'll be deep along with Ronchi Johnson, number 23. He is one of the Wake Forest tailbacks. And there's the kicker who just kicked the extra point, Don Barthel. This will be Ronchi Johnson at the 4. And out to the Wake Forest 23-yard line before the tackle is made by Robbie Matuk.
A good reason for the score by Woodley as number 29. Murphy right there on a fantastic block. There you see him, number 29. And he scoops up the middle for 6 easy points. Nothing to it with that kind of blocking, Ray.
Okay. Now let's see what Wake Forest is doing. They're lining up with 3 wide receivers. The only setback is Kirby, and Kirby is met behind the line on an outstanding play by Ivan Phillips, the senior tackle from New Orleans. This is the offensive line for the Deacons. Ward, Ard, Truitt, Kitson, and Jones. The tight end is Mullen. He's also the punter. Baumgartner, one of the leading receivers in the country, and Duckett. And there you see the backfield of Venuto, McDougal, the tailback, and Kirby, the fullback. There was no gain. This is second down. Venuto to the air. And a big charge by Lyman White, the defensive left end.
They're going to have to protect Venuto a lot better than that if he's going to continue throwing the football. He hasn't had much protection. Of course, this is only the second time they've had the football. Lyman White, a tremendous player for the LSU team. He set a school record of 109 tackles. He averaged 10 per game. He had 5 sacks and recovered 4 fumbles.
Wide to the right is Wayne Baumgartner, their leading receiver. This is 3rd and 17. And this is McDougal. And oh, is he quick, and he picks up a first down.
Fantastic run on a draw play by McDougal, number 40. He picked up, I believe he picked up a first down on this. Venuto going back to throw, a perfect call in that situation, passing down situation. McDougal, number 40, the only freshman in the ACC to gain 1,000 yards in his freshman year. He's a fantastic player, has had a fantastic career with Wake Forest.
Bob Lane, listed as a quarterback, was in defensively for LSU, and he might have saved an even longer game. First down. Whoop, there was a false move by tight end Bill Ruffner of Wake Forest, number 17, and I think he made a false start. Forest 29-yard line, 7-0. LSU leading. Wide to the right was Kenny Duckett, and to the left is Wayne Baumgartner. Venuto with a lot of time, and he's going deep for Baumgartner. Wayne Baumgartner out of Bluefield, West Virginia, had a tremendous year receiving. He grabbed off 55 passes for 1,000 yards.
Baumgartner also caught 8 touchdown passes for the year coming off the line of scrimmage. He's got some great speed on him as well. He gets bumped right there, really takes a hard shot. Still almost comes down with the football. Ball was a little bit high by Jay Venuto, but Baumgartner can really fly. Willie Teal on a defensive play.
Second down, 15, 29-yard line of Wake Forest. The interception for LSU is by Marcus Quinn at the Wake Forest 35-yard line.
A fine interception by Quinn as he picks the ball out of the air, and that would be the first turnover of this evening from Wake Forest. Wake Forest has only had 17 interceptions all season long.
So LSU is leading by a score of 7-0. 6:58 left to play in the first quarter here at Orlando. And right now let's pause briefly for these messages from your local The Wake Forest defenders. Number 97 is Eddie Yarnell. Now wide to the right will be McDaniel and Murphy. And LSU is going with no tight end and 3 wide receivers. Woodley has been absolutely on target. This time it's to Orlando McDaniel, and LSU moving through the air in the main.
What a fantastic pattern. and to hold the linebackers by the big fullback as he comes right in there. As you see, the linebackers are held stationary for a while. There's the throw, and a very, very well-run pattern by Orlando McDaniel, number 32.
First down at the Wake Forest 20-yard line. 1st and 10. 6.5 minutes left to play first quarter. This is Hernandez. Didn't Wake Forest have a blitz going there, John?
They did. Everyone was coming in very, very hard, but they broke the blitz and almost broke for a touchdown. Wisher on the tackle.
Next Saturday on the Mizlou Television Network, South Carolina's Gamecocks 8-3 on the year against Missouri's Tigers 6-5. Although, Ray, that 6-5 record includes narrow losses to powerhouses Nebraska and Oklahoma.
It should be an outstanding matchup. 2nd and 5 at the 15-yard line of Wake Forest as we look at David Woodley, the quarterback of LSU. Outstanding defensive play by Jim Parker, the senior middle guard of Wake Forest, as he caught the tailback, Hokie Gajon, from behind, and a loss of almost 4 yards. A big defensive play for Wake Forest.
That's really the first time that Wake Forest has done anything against that strong offensive line of the LSU team. And LSU is taking it right to them. They're still controlling the line of scrimmage, and Wake Forest is going to have to get it up to get in there to stop this penetration by LSU.
Right there is the man who made the play, Philadelphia's Jim Parker, number 77. This is a 3rd and 8. The pass was caught by Carlos Carson, and there was a tremendous, now it's short of a first down. It's short of a first down, but a super play by Carson.
Well, watch Woodley on this as we see the fake, and Parker's coming in, number 77, I believe, to try to get Woodley. He gets out of his grasp, and he throws that ball as he's going down. There's the ball. Watch it come bounce off of a man's hand right there. That probably enabled him to make the reception. Otherwise, it would probably have been into the ground.
It is 4th and 2, and LSU is going for a first down. 4:29 to play first quarter. This is Woodley, and he has it. A great bit of ball handling by Woodley.
And some excellent blocking at the point of attack as well, because the end came down on the fullback as Woodley was able to move back to the outside. Almost got in for the touchdown. 1st and 10, LSU.
1st and goal to go. 3-yard line of Wake Forest. Late in the first quarter. Wake Forest is going with a double tight end situation. Woodley still has it, and he scores. And LSU has moved into a 13-0 lead.
I'll tell you, Ray, if Woodley keeps playing this way, we may not ever see Emsinger in this ball game. He's having a fantastic night so far. Some fine determination on Woodley as he breaks through into the line of scrimmage and just lunges over the goal line for his 2nd touchdown of the night.
So Woodley carries it in behind the blocking of his senior center, John Ed Bradley, and his left guard, Tom Tully. And right on target again is Bartell. The crowd on hand here of near 50,000, we would guess, to watch as LSU has pretty much dominated this first quarter, and Bartell kicks to Ronchi Johnson. Out to the 24-yard line of Wake Forest, and now let's see if that 2nd touchdown scored by LSU we have captured.
A different look on this one as Woodley starts down a big hole. No problem, same result, score still 14-0.
Now Jay Venuto has been intercepted 1 time. LSU turned it into their 2nd touchdown here in this first quarter, which has 4:08 remaining. Duckett is to the right, Baumgartner to the left. Venuto with good protection. But he overshoots his tight end, Michael Mullen, and it'll be 2nd down and 10. The head man coaching his final game at LSU, Charlie McClendon. One of the most respected coaches in all of college football. That pass interception occurred at the Wake Forest 35-yard line, and in 6 plays, LSU went in for touchdown number 2. 3 wide receivers now for Wake Forest. This is the tailback, James McDougald, a senior from Maxton, North Carolina. Short gain before brought down by linebacker Tommy Frizzell. John Makovic.
He's a real positive thinker, Ray. He really likes to think that way, and he has a football team thinking that way all year. Venuto's just been a little high with most of his passes this season. Going to have to calm him down a little, maybe go to the running game just a little bit more.
3rd down 7. That is Albert Kirby, the fullback, who was unable to hold on to that pass, and as a result, it's punt formation time for Wake Forest and their tight end Michael Mullen, who doubles as the punter.
That's not like Kirby. He's caught 48 balls this year from Venuto, so he's usually a sure-handed receiver.
37 is Willie Teal, and 21 is Tracy Porter. Deep for the anticipated punt from Mullen. Mullen averaged a little over 36 yards per punt during the season. A penalty flag is down. This is Porter. And excellent coverage of the punt, but let's check back now and the 40. I thought Willie Teal might signal a fair catch, but he is fearless, and LSU has excellent field position at the Tiger 46-yard line. Left to play in the first quarter, 3 minutes and 1 second. The tackle, by the way, on that return by Paul Eberly of the Deacons. Wide right is Murphy. He's the only wide receiver now. Second man through, and breaking the tackle is freshman tailback Jesse Miles, but we have a marker down at around midfield.
On field before the ball game, and he really is big for quarterback.
First down for Danny Swallow at the Wake Forest 40-yard line, where the tackle was made by Eddie Yarnell, the defensive right end for Wake Forest.
Again, that offensive line for LSU is just taking it right to the defensive line for Wake Forest, and they're pretty much in control of the line of scrimmage, which is going to be the whole answer to this ball game.
Again, the 1 wide receiver. Just running through tackles is again the freshman out of Gray, Louisiana, Jesse Miles, and a big gain on first down. Gain of 8. It'll be second down 2, and Wake Forest right now, with just under 2 minutes left to play in the first quarter, is in deep trouble. What with LSU leading by 14-0, and a 2nd and 2 at the Wake Forest 33-yard line. LSU goes with 3 wide receivers. Pulling his way is Danny Swallow for another Tiger first down. This down to the Wake Forest 23-yard line. And John, that offensive line of the Tigers is coming off the ball just in tremendous fashion.
Ray, that's the name of the game. If you can control the line of scrimmage offensively, the defense is not going to hurt you too often, and you can run the football, control it with your short game of passing the football. I think you're going to be in pretty easy condition the rest of the night.
First down LSU. Ensminger. A gain of about 6 yards for the big quarterback.
Wake Forest has to get off the line of scrimmage and come down to meet the quarterback. They're letting him go all the way out to the outside, and he just elects to run with it because no one is really putting the pressure on him. They're going to have to do that to control him. They're not going to get anything done. Carlos Bradley again to get the job done.
There, my friends, is the Deacon. Second down, 4. Ensminger. And another LSU first down. The big, strong quarterback has it down to the Wake Forest 10-yard line in the final seconds of the first quarter. Wake Forest is going to make a substitution. Mac Hop, number 92, a senior out of Cary, North Carolina, replaces Mike Wisher at defensive left end.
They'll try to get more penetration by those defensive ends now coming down the line for the quarterback. Let's see if they can do it.
The ball just short of the 10. And there's that big Ensminger following the lead of his fullback through and gets it down to about the 6-yard line before the very active Carlos Bradley with Mac Hop and Mark Hester make the tackle. And we have reached the end of the first quarter in the 1979 Tangerine Bowl. The score, Louisiana State 14, Wake Forest nothing. We'll be right back. We're at the Tangerine Bowl in Orlando. LSU has a second down and 5, and Ensminger is looking for a receiver. Is dropped in the end zone against cornerback Darrell Crocker. The intended receiver was Jerry Murphy. And let's see what we have. Pass interference in the end zone. It will be first and goal to go at the 1-yard line.
It's a tough position down there. That's when everything really gets tough. Not much area to throw in. The offensive line has to do a fine job of protecting the passer, which they have been doing all evening. And Wake Forest coming up with a pass interference, which gives, of course, LSU the ball on the 1. First down and goal to go.
Stopped short of the goal line was the tailback, Jesse Miles, and picked up about a foot or so. LSU's 2 touchdowns were led by quarterback David Woodley. Then Steve Ensminger came on the scene, and how fortunate LSU is to have such 2 talented performers at such a vital position.
And we talked about both these quarterbacks before the ball game, and it didn't look like that they got in on that one or not. Maybe there's a fumble. I believe Wake Forest recovered. What a play. There's a scoring play, trying to be a scoring play. Number 36, Carlos Bradley, again on the tackle, and this young man is earning his keep tonight. Miles never got over on it. Bradley hit him, fumbled, but it was covered by Wake Forest. First and 10 on the 1.
Some 12,000 Deacon fans are here in person, and they really have something to cheer about for the first time tonight as Wake Forest has the ball inside their own 1-yard line. Now let's make sure we have the right performance. Duckett is in motion. And about a 5-yard pickup for the tailback, James McDougal.
That was a strange play coming out of that line, that offensive I formation with that fullback really sitting deep in that end zone, and them being so close to the goal line. I thought they would have gone with something straight ahead on a little quicker move.
George Attia, the middle guard for Louisiana State, made the tackle. Second and 5 at the Wake Forest 5.5-yard line. Venuto to the air. He's throwing for Baumgartner. What a catch! Wayne Baumgartner.
Venuto now back on a straight drop back, has plenty of time, great protection into his end zone. There's the throw, and then watch Baumgartner on the catch. He's been moving to the outside as the ball was really thrown a little short. He was running away from the defender, James Britt. And fine catch by Baumgartner, and of course Venuto having the guts of a burglar from back there, throwing it up.
45-yard gain. This is Kirby. And no gain on the play. Let's see, that was strong safety Marcus Quinn, a junior out of New Orleans, who made a super play on that attempt to get outside for the Deacons. No gain, 2nd and 10 at midfield. Wayne Baumgartner, incidentally, is going to get a breather right now as he heads. No, he just first man out of the huddle. I thought he was going to go take a break.
He wants to get position quickly.
2nd down 10, Wake Forest. LSU leading 14-0 early in the 2nd quarter from the Tangerine Bowl. Oh, that swarming defense, led by LSU's Al Richardson and Benji Thibodeau. Loss on the play, 3 yards. Wake Forest is faced with a 3rd and 13 at the Deacon 47-yard line. 12:23 remaining, 2nd quarter. Duckett and Baumgartner are wide to the right. Tight end Mullen is on the left side. Duckett comes in motion. That was very, very tight coverage by that linebacker, Al Richardson. The pass was intended for the tailback, McDougal, and he has good speed.
He has excellent speed. He was throwing that ball right down the short side of the field as well. I was surprised at the formation, but they did motion the man, Duckett, over to the wide side. I was surprised he didn't come back here, but the ball was thrown well, which is slightly too long.
Mullen to punt, Porter and Teal to accept the punt. Not that high. But a good roll for Wake Forest, and LSU must start from the Tiger 13-yard line with 11:47 left to play in the first half. We have a timeout on the field. Let's pause briefly. LSU with the ball, 1st and 10 at the Tiger 13-yard line. LSU leading 14-0. Hernandez the fullback, Ensminger the quarterback. This is Hernandez. And picks up about 3 before that swarming Deacon defense makes the tackle.
Mr. Crocker, Mike Crocker back in the secondary back there. He's back there trying to defend against the pass, coming up a little bit late on the tackle as most of his people are over there pursuing, making the tackle.
Many times you hear us talk about a cornerback does this and that. We thought you might like to follow his actions on a few plays. 2nd down, 6 after that gain of 4. Pokey Dijon, the tailback, to the 21-yard line, and LSU will have a 3rd down and 2.
Crocker again back in the secondary. He's playing awfully deep. That's one of the reasons why LSU's been able to get the short turn-in passes and the quick slants. He's just coming up and playing the run. Hopefully it doesn't get through, which it didn't, and his people made the tackle.
All right, LSU 3rd and 2. Ensminger with a dive. I think that extra effort was enough to pick up the 1st down for the big LSU quarterback.
A very heady play by Ensminger as he came down the line of scrimmage, and then seeing that there was no hole, he elected to go through the air with the greatest of ease like an acrobat.
Limping and leaving the game is Alex Brown, a junior tackle for Wake Forest from Westchester, Pennsylvania. And he is receiving attention, in fact, on the field. He was unable to get off the field. 10-30 on 1st and 10 from their own 23, goes with 3 wide receivers. That is McDaniel, who is out wide to the right. Hernandez apparently stopped at the line of scrimmage with a great 2nd, maybe 3rd effort. Gains close 2 enough yardage for a first down before Mark Hester made the tackle. Now, Greg LaFleur, a tight end, and Robert DeLee, another tight end. Double tight end with 2nd and 2 at the 32-yard line. This is Ensminger. And the Tigers move to yet another first down.
Again, that defensive end not getting enough pressure coming down the line of scrimmage. The offensive line of the LSU team is really eating it up and moving that option play all day long. They can pick up 4 or 5, seems to be, all night long, Ray.
First down, Tigers. Tiger 37-yard line. 9:45 left to play in the first half. LSU is leading by 14-0. Ensminger with a lot of time, and wide open was Tracy Porter. And both Woodley and Ensminger have shown tremendous accuracy.
Some good pass protection for Ensminger here as he comes down. There's a perfect block right there by Stanton, who makes a good play, and the ball is completed. 1st and 10, LSU. This is the end results of the block, as you saw, with the quarterback having enough time and throwing it downfield.
Back live at the Wake Forest 40. This is Gajan. Hokie Gajan picks up big yardage on first down as the LSU offensive line is still able to control that very important bit of territory. Dwayne Creighton made the tackle, but it's a 2nd down and 3 after Gajan picked up 7 yards. Wide to the left is Carson and Porter. To the right, McDaniel. 2nd down, 3, LSU. Very close to a first down, just short of the Wake Forest 30-yard line, is Tracy Porter.
That ball was almost blocked by the defensive end as he got up in the air, but the quarterback was just able to get it over the top of his head.
That was Eddie Green, a freshman safety, number 41 out of Greensboro, North Carolina, who made an excellent defensive play and held Porter shy of a first down by about a yard. 3rd down, less than 1. And this again is going to be very close as Andy Say, S-E-A-Y, another freshman defender out of Chelmsford, Massachusetts, made a very good defensive play for Wake Forest, along with Jim Parker.
In a 4th down situation, it certainly has to be a big running play. It would also be a good spot for a fake run up that middle and just kind of pop that pass down the sideline.
14-0 LSU, 7:45 to play first half. No first down. Wake Forest makes 3 great defensive plays in a row.
They got tough when they had to. We got a bad pitch on this ball as Ensminger comes down the line right here, seeing that there's no...
As we look at the Deacon, I think we should recognize that Wake Forest, although trailing 14-0 and outplayed, has come up with some great defensive plays which could have a tremendous bearing on the outcome of this game. First down, Wake Forest at the Wake Forest 32. Penalty flag is down. The pass was caught by Baumgartner, but he was out of bounds. 2 wide receivers are to the right. Duckett in motion. Albert Kirby, the Fleet fullback, picks up a couple of yards, and it will be a 2nd down and about 4, between 3 and 4 for a first down.
And this is the year of the quarterback. We will see another outstanding quarterback on New Year's Eve at the Bluebonnet Bowl here on the Mizlou Television Network. Purdue's Mark Herman will be going up against the Volunteers of Tennessee. Be with us, 8 o'clock Eastern Time on New Year's Eve.
That last running play picked up a yard. It is 2nd and 4, Wake Forest. McDougald very close to a first down. James McDougald, during the regular season, over 1,200 yards, and very close to a first down are the Deacons.
Go ahead and read it. It's Greek to me.
We Mizlou Mom.
No, the letter's on top.
A first down.
Week from tonight, right here on Mizlou, the Hall of Fame Bowl, South Carolina's Gamecocks and their All-America running back George Rogers against Missouri Tigers, led by all Big 8 quarterback Phil Bradley. That's a week from tonight at 8 o'clock Eastern Time.
7 minutes to play first half. LSU leading 14-0. Jay Venuto, the Wake Forest quarterback. Tried to hit Kenny Duckett. Defending was Alvin Thomas, a freshman cornerback from Donaldsonville.
Venuto has been high on most of his passes, Ray, and he's moving out. Was moving out to his left that time. It's a little difficult trying to throw it that way. He's got to have to set himself up a lot faster.
John, is there a technical reason why a quarterback would be consistently high? Is he doing something that...
a lot of times it's a tendency to let the ball go early from behind his ear rather than coming forward with the ball a little bit more.
2nd and 10. Venuto was fortunate to get back to the line of scrimmage to set up a 3rd down and 10 as the tackle was made. He was chased by John Adams and run down by Marcus Quinn. It will be 3rd and 10 Wake Forest. And McDougald, who was out of the game for one play, checks back in. Along the LSU sideline. Good crowd here at the Tangerine Bowl in absolutely perfect weather to watch the 34th renewal of the Tangerine Bowl. 3rd down and 10. Venuto could find no receiver open. It is 4th down, and the Tiger defense has been very, very effective. The charge that time and the sack led by Ivan Phillips, a senior tackle from New Orleans. To punt, Michael Mullen. Deep, Teal and Porter. Teal 37, Porter 21. Porter all the way back at the LSU 26 and nowhere to go. A penalty flag is down as a fine play. I think we had a pullover
at halftime of the Tangerine Bowl, but they keep them playing.
First down LSU at the Tiger 9-yard line. David Woodley is again the quarterback. A super catch made of that Woodley pass by wide receiver Jerry Murphy. Not enough for a first down, but a gain of about 8, and LSU has a bit more breathing room now. And a change made at free safety for Wake Forest. Landon King, a sophomore from Lexington, Kentucky, wearing number 13. 2nd down 2 after that gain of 8. There's Paul Eberly, linebacker for Wake Forest. Hokie Gajan is brought for a loss, and a penalty flag was dropped as the tackle was made. A face mask penalty.
watch number 91, Everly, on this play right here as he comes up, doing his job well, reading the keys, coming up, playing the keys, closing down the hole, and no room to go for the ball carrier. Everly, number 91, a good play.
But there was a face mask penalty and a 15-yarder measured off against Wake Forest. First down LSU at the Tiger 30. Time left to play in the first half, 4 minutes, 20 seconds. This young man at quarterback, Woodley, led the Tigers to 2 touchdowns and their current 14-0 lead. He's going deep for Carson. Carson got behind the defense and all the way down to the Wake Forest 19-yard line before Joel Triplett caught up with him.
He just ran right by the defender back there, and it was an easy job of Woodley to get the ball down in just a matter of pitch and catch. Woodley to Carson almost broke away for the touchdown.
So LSU leading 14-0 and 19 yards away from another score. Murphy is wide to the right. Hernandez is the fullback. A penalty flag is down. We might have had a premature move.
We had the left end offsides or movement right here as we take a look at it. Little movement. The offensive man, see his leg move there. The offensive man has to stand still, stay still until the ball is snapped. He's got to learn. That was Carlos. And he's got to learn to listen to that quarterback's cadence and not move until his quarterback has the ball snapped to him. Illegal procedure against LSU and refused.
Wake Forest would rather accept the loss of a down, so it is 2nd and 10 at the Wake Forest 19-yard line. The clock now shows 3:35 left to play. And incidentally, whatever you do, don't leave us at halftime. A spectacular halftime show is in store. That's Gajan in motion. Touchdown, Murphy. Jerry Murphy with a spectacular touchdown grab. The senior from Birmingham really came up with the catch of the game.
Fine camera work as we have Murphy on isolated camera as we watch him go down the field, going to the outside. It's a fine throw by the quarterback. Watch the catch as Murphy goes up for the football. Up over the defender, makes the catch, comes down in the end zone. A fine catch and an excellent throw by the quarterback, Eddie Green, number 41, the defender.
And back live, the extra point is right on target. Don Bartell, who has added all 3 extra points, will kick off for LSU. Kenny Duckett and Ronchi Johnson are deep for Wake Forest. Kenny Duckett at the 1.
Extracurricular on the activity on the field. Scoring play. Woodley rolling out to his right. Murphy on an excellent catch up over top of Eddie Green, number 41. Good camera work by the camera people downstairs. And again, we come from another angle as we see Murphy actually being picked, Eddie Green actually being picked off, which allows Murphy to get behind the defender. Again, an excellent catch. No change in score, 21-0.
Back live. First down, Wake Forest on their own 22. This is Kirby. Fumble. LSU has it at the 20-yard line of Wake Forest. With 3:19 left to play in the first half, LSU has dominated this half.
They are really playing hard from McClendon. And, you know, I'm sure that Coach McAbit figures right now that when it rains, it pours. Richardson right there was carrying the ball loosely as the ball was popped up. Brother Richardson made the tackle. The ball was knocked out. Let's take a look at it. it is. Someone's foot coming up actually pops the ball out of his arms. It's first and 10. Richardson on the tackle.
Meanwhile, I believe it was the ball carrier. I can't read his number for sure. If it is 21, it would be Albert Kirby, the fullback, who carried on that last play. And it is Kirby who is shaken up. John, you never know, of course, what the future holds in store. But I think it's proper to point out right now that one of the great comebacks of this year was recorded by Wake Forest in defeating Auburn by a score of 42-38. Wake Forest trailed in that game at one time 38-20 and came back to win it. So for whatever it's worth, I certainly am bearing it in mind myself.
That's right, Ray. And you know, as Yogi Berra said, the game is not over until it's over, so they can still get a lot of points yet.
All right. First down, LSU, Wake Forest 20-yard line, 3:19 to play, first half. This again is Woodley, right on target. His receiver this time, Lionel Wallace, a junior from Houma, Louisiana.
Excuse me, Ray. Woodley is having a field day out there. It's a matter of pitch and catch. He's getting no pressure from the defensive line. A fine throw and a fine catch by Wallace, Lionel Wallace, number 6. And Woodley, I don't believe, has been sacked yet outside of the times he's elected to run with the football. And if you're going to stop the passing game, you have to have a good hard rush by the defensive line.
The gain was enough to call for a first down measurement with 3:13 to play in the first half. It's short as we look at the man known as Charlie McClendon, closing out his career as the head coach at Louisiana State University.
There's some rumors, I understand, Ray, of Mr. McClendon going to Georgia Tech, taking over for Pepper Rogers.
Well, this is rumor time of the year, and that is a rumor that was making the rounds here in Orlando earlier today.
Of course, it was Pepper that started the rumor, wasn't it, John?
It may have been. Hopefully, want to get out. Is that what you're telling me? Woodley so far is 6 for 8.
James Parker digs in. LSU 1 yard away from a first down at the 11-yard line of Wake Forest. Penalty flag down. The pass intended for Tracy Porter, but there might have been a false start by one of the offensive linemen. Second down 6 now at the Wake Forest 16-yard line. In motion, Gajan. And that time there was pressure by a blitzing Carlos Bradley, the junior linebacker from Philadelphia.
He did. He came in and hit Woodley. That's the first time he's been hit. As I mentioned earlier, outside of the time he's elected to run with the football. And Wake Forest has seemed to come alive defensively. They're still going to have to get to that passer a lot more often than they have.
Sophomore Marty Dufresne from Lockport, Louisiana, comes in at center. Greg LaFleur, a tight end, number 89, checks in for LSU. 3:04 to play first half. The Tigers are leading by 21-0. Carson goes wide to the left. Porter is lining up on the right side. Tracy Porter. The pressure is on. That pass was almost intercepted by George Irvin, a defensive back, and again, tremendous pressure from the defense forced that pass to be off target, and it is now 4th down. And let's see what LSU elects to do right here. Don Bartell we are truly in orange country. Woodley is the holder. Bartell 6 of 11 in field goals this season, and it has the distance, and it is good. So LSU has had a tremendous first half here in the Tangerine Bowl, leading now by 24-0 with 2:53 remaining to be played in the half. And Howard, I don't think I overstated it when I said that we're in for a spectacular halftime show.
Barry and Fogg, we were
down by 24-0. Duckett at the 3. Great run back to the 45-yard line. And the kicker, Bartell, had to make the tackle. And this was literally a one-on-one play.
Oh, Ron, I don't believe you said that. The fine run back by Duckett as he was able to get back to the outside. And I'm sure Mr. McClendon will have something to say about this outside man not staying to the outside and preventing those type of tactics by Duckett.
This is McDougald. And a gain of about 9 yards. Where Ivan Phillips made the tackle for the Tigers. I did not see a penalty flag. But now I did. Wayne Baumgartner wide to the right, the Deacons' leading receiver. This is intended. It's intercepted in the end zone by Willie Teal. He was trying to hit Kenny Duckett.
A very poor choice of receivers by Venuto, who had his mind made up all the way. Never even came back to look anywhere else and just hung the ball up in the air. They had 2 men back there on the coverage. There's the great interception, and the Wake Forest drive is killed.
What do they call those, John? Hail Mary passes?
Turnovers, brother. Turnovers will kill you every time. They stop the momentum, and Dave, I think Wake Forest had 33 turnovers all season long, and LSU 32. And they do have a tendency to stop the drive.
Time left to play in the first half. 2 minutes, 11 seconds. Play first half. The fullback, Jude Hernandez, and he's only a sophomore. We've had fine running from a freshman tailback, Jesse Miles of the Tigers. Hernandez, who has been in most of this half, running from the fullback position, is only a sophomore. That last tackle was made by Mike Maxwell of Wake Forest, a junior from Southampton, Pennsylvania. The play gained 4, 2nd down 6. Woodley elects to turn upfield and keep for about 3. It will be 3rd and short yardage. And when the next snap is made, we'll have only about a minute left to play in the first half.
Mark Hester, number 48, made a good play on that. Came down the line of scrimmage slightly. He's going to have to get a little bit more penetration. You don't want to let that man get across that line of scrimmage on that option play.
3rd down, 2 yards away from a first down. A first half dominated by LSU to the tune of a 24-0 lead. Woodley escaping the rush, and this pass is intercepted. That was Landon King, a sophomore out of Lexington, Kentucky, who picked off the pass by Woodley. And Wake Forest has the ball and only 45 seconds to try and do something about a 24-0 LSU lead.
In that position, that pass was as good as a punt. They put the ball back out, back into Wake Forest territory, and he just didn't have enough arm to get it down there on that play.
24-0. And the quarterback, during all of LSU's scoring plays here in the first half, have been engineered by David Woodley. We have a new quarterback in the game, David Weber. The ball carrier was the tailback, McDougald. And a new fullback, Bob Ventresca, a senior from Doylestown, Pennsylvania. Hurry-up offense by Wake Forest. Only 25 seconds left in the half. Good pass to the tight end, Michael Mullen, as David Weber is right on target.
David Weber moved out to his right on a short sprint-out type pass. He set up very, very quickly, which enabled him to get that ball downfield.
Wake Forest elects to take a timeout with 20 seconds left in the half. Weber played so sparingly in this 1979 Wake Forest season that he only threw 5 times, John, and completed 1 of those 5. But he showed, at least on that one pass, a very strong and a very accurate arm.
Good strong arm and quick setup, which is what he has to do. Not letting the LSU men get into him and penetrate deeply enough to stop him from throwing the football. He's sprinting to the right to try to aid his protection and a little bit to try to help set the blocking up. That time it worked perfectly for him.
That quick look at the LSU Tiger here reminds me of what I've heard about playing at Baton Rouge. They tell me it's an experience that you don't soon forget if you are a visiting player.
I don't know who screams the loudest when you're up there, the Tiger or the people, Ray.
First down, Wake Forest, LSU, 47-yard line. Seconds only remaining in the half. And the short pass is completed to the fullback, Ventresca, who has replaced the injured Albert Kirby. Now that play took 6 seconds with Ventresca moving out of bounds after a gain of 6.
He's going to have to go up top here pretty soon. 14 seconds to go. He's going wants to throw it deep. He's not going to gain too much. Throwing it short without being able to run with the football.
Bob Gardner and Duckett, the wide receivers, are being played very tight. Pass incomplete, intended for the tailback, McDougal. And now 8 seconds remain in the half.
He's got some room across that middle, Ray, when both of them are doubled to the outside that way. Of course, not much time, but if he can get someone loose in that middle and then go up the seam on it, he may have a chance of scoring. I don't know whether they know that or not. I'm sure the coaches are down from the upstairs, and whether or not he calls his own plays or something else, I don't know.
Although I have not yet seen a signal as to a penalty, and assuming that the clock here at the Tangerine Bowl is official, I do not quite understand why the time for another play.
The only thing I can think, Ray, is that he may have got to the official and called a timeout before the clock ran out. They have 2 timeouts left. It could possibly have been that.
Question is, John, who got to him to call the timeout, and did he in fact get to him quick enough? You recall a couple of weeks ago the Washington-Dallas football game.
The captain, whoever it was, has the right to call the timeouts, no one else.
Now, Phil Denfeld is going to try a 43-yard field goal. It has the distance, and it's good. So Wake Forest gets on the board on the final play of the half.
That could be a big happening for Wake Forest, as at least they have 3 points on the board at halftime.
So stay tuned for our exciting halftime festivities right after these messages.
In this 12-yard keeper by Woodley, capping that 80-yard drive. And a look at it. Now, as you see Woodley rolling to his right, this will be the 19-yard touchdown pass to Jerry. The 19-yard touchdown pass to Jerry Murphy, which occurred in the second quarter, capping a 90-yard drive in 5 plays, and that made it 21-0 at the point. All right, second half, 24-3, LSU leads Wake Forest. Here's Ray Scott.
Okay, Bartell kicks off. For Wake Forest, this is Ronchi Johnson. He will not run it out. John, for those of you who joined us late, Wake Forest had, as you can see right there, a great difficulty in moving the ball with any regularity at all. Now they went to, they made a change at quarterback, but they are now going back to their starter, Jay Venuto. And I think you should point out the problem that Jay had, particularly in the first half.
Jay's had a little bit of problem throwing the football, not setting up as quickly as you'd like for him to, and he's been just a little high with most everything he's throwing. He's not over top of the football enough and causing it to rise when he throws, and that's most of his problem.
This is the tailback, James McDougal. Now their regular fullback, junior Albert Kirby of Clinton, North Carolina, sustained an injury in the first half, and as a result was replaced by Ventresca. Bob Ventresca, a senior from Doylestown, Pennsylvania, and it's Ventresca at that position right now. Wide to the right is Duckett. To the left is Baumgartner. That first running play gained 4 yards. McDougal gets about 2 to the 26, and Wake Forest will have a 3rd down and 4. I see no big change in LSU's defensive personnel. John Adams, a senior from DeRidder, helped out on that last tackle, along with their junior middle guard from Allentown, Pennsylvania, George Attia. 3rd down, 5, Wake Forest at the Deacon 25. 3 wide receivers, including tight end Michael Mullen, who is wide right. Venuto. McDougal gets a first down out to the 21-yard line before linebacker Tommy Frizzell was able to make the tackle.
McDougal released out of the backfield on that, Ray, and just went into an area which was vacated by the linebackers as they were dropping back into their coverage. It was a fine throw by the quarterback to McDougal, who picked up the first down.
Newton. Duckett comes to the near side, one of the 2 wide receivers. 1st and 10, Wake Forest. This is his wide receiver, Wayne Baumgartner. Am I correct, John? From what I've seen so far, the first 2 passes thrown here in the second half, a shortening up of their patterns, no attempt to go deep.
He's running in order to get himself more protection. He's throwing short, quick patterns, as you mentioned, so that he's not forced to throw the ball to where he doesn't want to. The defensive linemen have not been able to penetrate as quickly as they have previously. Plus, he's getting some aggressive pass protection on the line of scrimmage where the linemen are shooting out at the defensive line of scrimmage and getting their hands down.
It's another Wake Forest first down. Duckett comes in motion. Back to just about the line of scrimmage before Benji Thibodeau ran him out of bounds was Jay Venuto. Tommy Frizzell was...
The boys are pulling him up from his face guard. That was just a slight delay, and underneath the man who had cleared the area out. Fine reception by McDougal, an excellent run.
Now the fullback Ventresca is over in a slot right. Here goes that talented tailback again, but this time he is limited to a very short gain because linebacker Tommy Frizzell, a senior out of Athens, Texas, made a fine play.
Excellent tackle by Frizzell as he read the block by the fullback, went to the outside and ran right into McDougal, who was there not waiting, but Frizzell was waiting for him, let's put it that way. Excellent tackle.
No gain, 2nd down 10, 34-yard line of LSU. Duckett is out to the left. Touchdown, Baumgartner.
Well, Ray, that was actually a bad throw by Venuto. The man was beaten down, not beaten, and the ball was thrown short as he had to come back for it. Venuto did not have enough arm to get it down, as Baumgartner went real deep. Here's the throw by Venuto. As you saw, he put everything into it. The defender ran right by the offensive man. Baumgartner, 82. James Britt, the defender, on the play. Baumgartner with a touchdown on the throw for Venuto. 34-yard touchdown pass.
Remember now, Wake Forest trailed Auburn 38-20 this year before coming back for a 42-38 victory. The extra point is good by Frank Harnish, and Wake Forest, after trailing 24-0, scored a field goal on the final play of the first half. Now comes up with the Deacons' first touchdown of the game, and by golly, we might have a ball game here. The kickoff will be for Wake Forest by Phil Denfeld, who hit the field goal on the final play of the half. Hokie Gajan is deep for LSU. Good kick. Gajan at the 3. Good run back, 27 yards, and let's see now about the Tigers here from their own 30 as Paul Eberly, a Wake Forest linebacker, made the tackle on the kickoff return.
Scoring play number play 7, total yardage 80, possession 315. Wake Forest now has come back from that 24-3 deficit to make it 24-10 early in the second half.
David Woodley, number 8 at quarterback. Jude Hernandez at fullback. Hokie Gajan at tailback. Murphy in motion. Hernandez. What's a quarterback's definition of that type of a play?
Well, it's a fake pitch out and come back to the fullback. The halfback took off to the right. He faked the pitch out to get the flow of the defense to the fake and hoping that the fullback would be able to break back underneath.
Gain 5, 2nd and 5. Steve Vance, Jamestown, North Carolina tackle made the stop. The defense for Wake Forest, led by linebacker Carlos Bradley. Murphy again is in motion. This is Gajan. Good play out of the defensive backfield. Freshman Eddie Green made a super play that time and limited that to about a 1-yard gain.
It looks to me like the defensive football team is playing with a lot more intensity than he did in the first half. Also, I think that the linebackers are playing a little bit tighter to that line of scrimmage, not giving that the runner enough as much room as he had in the previous earlier in the game.
Malcolm Scott, number 80, came in as a tight end. It is 3rd and about 4.5. Murphy lined up in the backfield, and that pitch by Woodley was off target.
It was a bad pitch, but the defense was playing extremely well. All right, there's the fake of the quarterback to the fullback coming up. Murphy going back outside. Here comes the quarterback down the line. There's a pitch. Eddie Green, number 41, up on the end of the line of scrimmage. They weren't going to go anywhere with that play, even if it hadn't been a bad pitch.
Formation time for Adams. John Adams. At the Wake Forest 33-yard line and nailed after a 2-yard run back. John Swider. The Wake Forest fans are really alive. We're at the Tangerine Bowl. Will, the quarterback who threw the touchdown pass to Baumgartner several moments ago. The fullback is Bob Ventresca, number 26. James McDougald, number 40, is the tailback. Duckett is wide to the right. Baumgartner is wide to the left. Venuto looking. And picks up about 5 to 6 yards, does Jay Venuto. I believe he would have liked to have gone deep to Wayne Baumgartner, but elected to keep the ball and picked up a little bit more than 5 yards before Jerry Hill and Benji Thibodeau made the tackle. In the Wake Forest huddle, not in the Wake Forest huddle, but present, is our way of saying a Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays to all of you. 2nd down, 5. Duckett in motion. There goes the tailback, McDougald, and it's a Wake Forest first down.
They even have the momentum changing as far as the offensive line is concerned. They're taking it to the LSU defensive team right now, as there was a quick open play by McDougald carrying the football and a good thrust by the offensive line right at the middle of that defensive line. Mark Impolito of Louisiana making the tackle.
5'9", 190, a senior. That's the statistics on McDougald, the tailback. First down, Wake Forest 46-yard line, and here comes McDougald again. He got literally collared after getting 2 or 3 very tough yards, and it was junior Marcus Quinn. The New Orleans strong safety for LSU who made the stop. Now McDougal goes to the sidelines. Michael Mullen, the tight end, goes to the sidelines. Robert Johnson, a freshman tailback out of Detroit, Michigan, is in the game now. As a replacement for the moment, at least, for McDougal. Second down, 8. The catch was made by Baumgartner, and he really took a hit.
He sure did. Venuto tried to get it to him early, but someone jumped up his face. As Venuto comes back, there's the first pump right there, and someone's right into his face, and there's the throw finally by Venuto, off balance, and look at the shot he gets right there by James Britt.
Britt is a sophomore cornerback out of Minden, Louisiana. Third down and 2 at the LSU 46-yard line. 24-10, LSU leading midway third quarter. Whoa, a collision between Baumgartner and Willie Teal, the free safety, and that pass was right on target. There was nothing Baumgartner could do about that one.
Had he caught that ball, it would have been a miracle reception because he threw it right in there, but the defensive play was right on top of him and just lowered the boom on him.
Mullen to punt. Willie Teal is deep for LSU to receive. Out of bounds inside the 20 at the 16-yard line. The score 24-10 LSU. Let's pause briefly for these first and 10 at the Tigers 16-yard line. This third quarter so far belongs to Wake Forest. Tigers are leading 24-10. This is Hernandez, and he is met by left linebacker Mark Hester. Thomasville, North Carolina senior. Number 48 made that stop. Short gain, 2 yards, second down, 8. Carson checks in. McDaniel checks in. 2 wide receivers for the Tigers. Out will come the 2 tight ends, DeLee and LaFleur. Carson goes left. McDaniel comes right. Woodley looking. LSU must come up with a third down and 8.
Looks like someone ran the wrong pattern down there, Ray. They had 2 men in the same exactly position over there, bringing all the defenders in. They didn't really have a chance of getting the ball down in there, but Wake Forest seems to be playing a lot better defense right now and trying to get the pressure on the passer, and the secondary is playing a lot tighter than they were in the first half.
3 wide receivers. In fact, they have 4 wide receivers now on third down 8. Woodley, first down. Oh, he is a good runner, David Woodley.
He is an exceptional runner on that play. They spread the Wake Forest defense real wide, leaving a gigantic hole over on the right side. If you can see it as Woodley goes back, it's a quarterback draw play all the way, already called, pre-called for in the huddle, and Woodley does an excellent job on it. King making the tackle on the play, number 13, along with Lewis Owen.
First down LSU, Tiger 38-yard line. Gajan. Fumble. Wake Forest. Wake Forest recovers the Gajan fumble at the LSU 48-yard line, but I see a penalty flag down. Derek Crocker made the recovery, but I just now spotted a penalty flag.
Here comes Gajan, and here comes the big tackle. Let's see where the ball is squirted out. Right there, just reached in and knocked the ball out. Wake Forest comes up with a recovery. I don't know if there's been a penalty on that play.
No, it was not a penalty flag. It looked like a penalty flag. It was an elbow pad. So, first down, Wake Forest. LSU 48-yard line. 5:42 left, third quarter. Wake Forest trailing 24-10. McDougald picks up about 3 yards to the LSU 45-yard line.
At halftime of the Hall of Fame Bowl, the National High School Athletic Coaches Association's All-America team coming up. Be with us a week from tonight when South Carolina meets Missouri at 8 o'clock Eastern Time over most of these Mizlou stations.
Second down, 7 for a first down. Baumgartner to the left. Duckett is wide to the right. Jay Venuto looking. Good protection.
Woo! Did I hurt you, honey?
Oh, his fullback, Bob Petreska, was really met at the pass for, if anything, a loss of a half yard.
Oh, did he hit him or not? He put him up in the cheap seats. Venuto coming back from behind the center, looking for a receiver downfield. No one to spot. Here's the pass, and watch the hit on this one. Number 94, Lyman White.
Back live, third down, 8. Nose. Mullen did not get it. It hit the ground.
That's hard to call from up here. Maybe we can get another look at it from our ground camera. Venuto coming with the ball. You decide. I can't. I don't know whether it was or whether it wasn't. I guess he may have trapped it. The official was right on it.
Fourth down, punt formation time for Mullen. Teal and Porter are back for LSU. Great punt. That was Marcus Quinn who was back this time. And a fair catch all the way back at the 5-yard line. More football action continues after these brief messages. The well-known features in football circles of Charlie McClendon looking on as his tailback, Pokey Gajan, after a handoff from quarterback Steve Ensminger, who is back in the game now. Ensminger hands off, gain of about a yard, and across the way from Charlie McClendon is John Makovic, the truly outstanding young coach at Wake Forest. That play picked up a yard. That's one of the Wake Forest players injured early and had to leave the game. 2nd and 9, LSU. Hernandez. Hope you're enjoying this 34th annual Tangerine Bowl Classic from Orlando, Florida on this absolutely perfect evening for whatever outdoor activity. We have 3:29 left to play in the third quarter. LSU led at one time 24-0. But the last 10 points belong to the Deacons of Wake Forest. So with just 3 minutes and a few seconds left in the third quarter, LSU is faced with a 3rd and 6 at the Tiger 10. This is Ensminger, and a first down, and they have used that quarterback draw very, very successfully. First it was by Woodley a few moments ago, John, and now by Ensminger.
Actually the same play, a little bit different. That the play went up more up the middle than it did to the outside, and Ensminger picked the right hole, picked up enough for the first down. It's a good call. The defense is really being spread out on the third down passing situation, and they're taking advantage of it.
First down at the Tiger 21-yard line. Ensminger this time gets very short yardage. Landon King was up there. Steve Vance was there. Gain 2 yards. 2nd down 8, and LSU will go with their wide receivers now. Carlos Bradley gives way at linebacker to Joel Triplett. Bradley appeared to have sustained a slight leg injury. Murphy, McDaniel to the right, Carson to the left. 2nd down 8, LSU. perfectly timed hit by Derek Crocker. And as a result, the pass is incomplete, intended for McDaniel. And it is 3rd down and 8. Less than 2 minutes remaining in the 3rd quarter.
The Deacons now are starting to blitz. That time Triplett, the linebacker 43, made the tackle, put the pressure on the quarterback as he was able just to get away. The defensive secondary now starting to tighten up on the outside receivers, and a good smack out there to knock the ball away.
3rd down, 8. Gajan in motion. Overthrown just slightly, and apparently Wake Forest is going to get the football. It is punt formation time for LSU's John Adams as we look along the sidelines and out on the field. To receive this kick is John Swider at the Wake Forest 38-yard line. Pass from center. Swider at his own 39 to the 46-yard line. Good field position for Jay Venuto in the Wake Forest offense.
Tangerine Sports Association, in cooperation with the Toyota dealers of Orlando, congratulate Joseph Mine on winning this year's Tangerine Bowl Grand Prize, a 1980 Toyota Corolla Tercel. Congratulations.
The fullback will be Bob Vetreska, number 26. The tailback, James McDougall, number 40. He has just the one setback. This is Duckett in motion. Fine catch by Baumgartner at the LSU 38-yard line. And Venuto is a much better-looking passer here in the second half.
He's setting up Ray. He's getting his feet underneath him and moving through the football now. He had plenty of time. Offensive line giving him that time. Anything a quarterback likes is to be able to stand back there 2.5, 3 seconds and then pick out the man he wants to, and that's what they're doing for him right now.
Mark Ippolito, a sophomore linebacker from New Orleans, number 99, just came in for the Tigers. This is the tailback. McDougall shook off an attempt at an early tackle and winds up with about a 7-yard gain.
The momentum has changed hands, and it's all in Wake Forest's favor at this point. Venuto's had the first pass completed. Steve Amsinger, number 5, the quarterback, looked like he was injured slightly in the last play.
Change at linebacker, Al Richardson. 2 men are wide to the right. In fact, they have 3 receivers to the right. 2nd and 4. This is Vetreska, the fullback. And a first down all the way to the 17-yard line of LSU before Willie Teal moved Vetreska out of bounds. There's John Makovic now sending in a play by way of Wayne Baumgartner.
Excuse me, Raymond. There was some excellent blocking by the Wake Forest line at the point of attack that allowed that play to go that as far as it did.
32 seconds remaining, 3rd quarter. Wayne Baumgartner breaks huddle, will go to the right. Duckett will go to the right. So they have both wide receivers to the short side of the field.
Usually when they do that, they come with one man in motion. See if they do it here. Nope.
Venuto takes a big loss all the way back to the 31.
Oh, they got an interception on that thing as the ball popped out of the quarterback's hands, and the LSU man was just waiting there for it.
Well, I admit I never saw it, John.
Well, it was a late thing. It happened and the Venuto gets, he gets chased out of the pocket right here as he goes to his right. I think he may have tried to throw the ball out of bounds right here, or snapped up right there. You see him popping the ball up in the air. Number 77, I believe Parker, the tackle, was the one who intercepted it.
The 77 for LSU is Benji Thibodeau.
Thibodeau, okay.
All right, first down, LSU, Tiger, 28-yard line. Only seconds remaining here as in the 3rd quarter as the fullback, Hernandez, is met after a gain of only a yard or so. Well, Well, just when it looked as though Wake Forest had something going and an opportunity to cut down on that 14-point deficit, LSU comes up with a rather unusual interception on what turned out to be the final play of the third quarter.
Well, let's see if the momentum doesn't change now when it goes over to LSU. It frequently does that when a big play happens.
For the fourth quarter, 24-10 LSU. Second down, 8 LSU at the Tiger 30-yard line. Woodley looking. This is Tracy Porter. All the way down to the Wake Forest 22-yard line.
Fine throw by Woodley and a fine reception. It looked to me like it was a blown coverage back in the secondary as a fake to the fullback up to the middle, moved to the outside. No one even even tried to cover the man to the outside. That's why I thought it was a blown coverage. As we see Green up tight, the deep man should have been back there covering that on his own, and he went with the wrong man.
Derek Crocker finally caught up with Porter, but it's a first down LSU at the Wake Forest 22-yard line. Woodley this time is caught very quickly by tackle Steve Vance. Good defensive play, loss of a couple.
Now there's something what they should have been doing the first half, bringing that man and crashing that man down the line of scrimmage on that option play.
Loss 2 yards. Second down 12, Wake Forest 24-yard line. And into the game comes Carlos Carson, the senior wide receiver of the Tigers from West Palm Beach, Florida. There's what David Woodley has done. He has led that he's been the quarterback in all situations where LSU scored, all 24 of their points. Might have a delay of game penalty. 4 wide receivers, 3 to the left, 1 to the right. And down goes Woodley in the grasp of Mike Wisher, the junior defensive end from Philadelphia. And Wake Forest has very definitely, with the exception of that one long 48-yard pass, the border has definitely stiffened defensively in the second half.
They have played extremely well the second half, both offensively and defensively, and have taken the ball game to LSU, although they have not been able to cross the goal line here in the fourth quarter.
Third down, 22. And again, 4 wide receivers, including the tailback, Dijon. A screen pass, and Hernandez turned about a 2-yard gain into about a 10-yard gain, but it's still fourth down, and we're going to have a field goal attempt by Don Bartell. This will be an attempt of about 41 yards by Don Bartell. The holder will be the quarterback, Woodley. A lot of time remaining, 12:26. It is good. So Woodley has his second field goal. 27-10 in favor of LSU. From Orlando, Florida, this is the 1979 on the LSU bench. I don't think I can recall a football season with more hellos and highs to mothers than this year, John.
They must not like the fathers, man. What's going on?
Raunchy Johnson. Ken Duckett are deep. Bartell's kick. Raunchy Johnson at the goal line. No, this is Duckett. And pretty good run back. About a 25-yarder for wide receiver Ken Duckett, the Winston-Salem, North Carolina junior. Now Wake Forest needs a score, I would say, on this possession to get back in the game.
They really do. They have to keep the momentum and take it down the field. Not go for any real long things there, long touchdown tries here, but to just try to work the ball down and get some more confidence in that offensive group.
Baumgartner to the left. Duckett is off to the right. This is Duckett. First down, 33-yard line, just like you said, John.
Alvin Thomas that time, the defender number 33, had fallen down, and Duckett did too as he caught the football.
I said first down. It's an 8-yard gain, shy by 2.
Ray, who knows better how to work the ball down the field than number 19 sitting alongside of us.
Gain of 8 that time, 2nd and 2. This is Petreska, the fullback, and he has a first down. Out to the 36-yard line. John, how much have you missed playing?
I haven't really missed it at all, Ray. I mean, I worked with the other network there for 5 years when I came out of football, and it kept me close to the game, watching the players and doing the same thing we're doing here. I really haven't missed it, missed playing. I'd like to see a lot of things from up here that, you know, that are not done properly, but that's the way the game goes. It's an advantage point up there, and the worst seat in the house is behind the center.
Jay Venuto has 3 wide receivers and his fullback in a slot left. A big hit on Venuto by Lyman White, the defensive left end.
And that's one of the reasons why John Unitas came out of the game.
Yeah. This is welcome to my world, Mr. Venuto. Oh, if you're going to run, son, get out of bounds. Don't try to run over top of folks. Quarterback is much too valuable to be taking shots like that.
Loss, 2 yards to the 34-yard line. It is 2nd down, 12. Time left in this game, 11 minutes and 30 seconds. LSU is leading 27-10. Venuto is really leveled. He never saw Lyman White coming.
He certainly didn't. And if I was Veneto, I would find out who was responsible for blocking Mr. Lyman White and go over and introduce him. Oh, that's nothing to laugh about, but I felt that all the way up here.
Oh, my. We have a timeout on the field. Let's pause briefly for these messages from Jay Venuto, who was really hit hard by Lyman White, who led LSU in tackles, by the way, during the regular season. And it's now sophomore David Weber from Oak Ridge, Tennessee, who is quarterbacking the Deacons. And from behind, Weber is caught by John Adams. And Adams sustained a slight injury, the senior from DeRidder, Louisiana. It is 4th down and pump formation time for the Deacons, Michael Mullen. This has been a very hard-hitting game. Oh. Willie Teal and Marcus Quinn are deep for LSU. 10:47 left to play in the game. Fair catch. Willie Teal, LSU 42-yard line. Now let's see who the quarterback is going to be. For LSU, it'll be Steve Ensminger. One of his wide receivers will be Orlando McDaniel. Wallace is to the left. Murphy is to the left. No tight end. Wallace. And Wake Forest has never really come up to the answer for that particular pattern.
They've got to get in and get their hands up because the quarterback only took about 2 steps back from the center, spun around on some play action, looked up and just hit Wallace as he came across the middle. Lionel Wallace on a fine reception.
First down, LSU at the Wake Forest 38-yard line. Again, 3 wide receivers. Ensminger on a quick count. And it's Carlos Carson. Ensminger, despite being pressured by James Parker, gets his pass off to Carlos Carson, and it's a first down LSU inside the Wake Forest 20-yard line, where Carlos Bradley made the tackle.
Ensminger coming up with a fine throw. He has really got a strong arm. He was moving to his right, being spun by another defender, and still got the ball across field to his receiver.
Murphy is off to the right. He caught a touchdown pass from Woodley in this game. Murphy at the 9-yard line, and another LSU first down, or close to it. Now he'll be about a yard shy.
All of a sudden, things seem to have changed in favor of LSU now. 3 completed passes, and they're down within scoring territory on the 9-yard line.
Second down, a yard away from a first down. 9:37 left in the game. LSU has led all the way at one time by 24-0. Now it is 24-10. Now it's first and goal to go for Leroy Jones, senior tailback from Baker, Louisiana.
Ray, you and I will be together again a week from tonight at the Hall of Fame Bowl, where South Carolina's Gamecocks, led by a pretty fair running back by the name of George Rogers, meets Missouri's Tigers. Should be a great ball game.
I'm really looking forward to it. I've heard so much about Rogers. I'm really anxious to see him. That much time left to play here at the Tangerine Bowl. First and goal to go, LSU. And Ensminger manages to stretch it to about the 3-yard line before tackle Dwayne Creighton, a junior from Brooklyn, New York, made the defensive play for the Deacons.
Good play that time by the defensive line. They strung the play out, made them continue to come down the line of scrimmage until they had a lot of help in pursuit coming in to make the tackle.
New tight end, number 80, Malcolm Scott. And he's a freshman from New Orleans. This is Ensminger. And was it a touchdown? Yes. Just getting it in. Wake Forest is not convinced, but
they still have some arguments down there. Zenslinger comes down to the option. Look for yourself as he puts his shoulder down. Is he over or isn't he? All he has to do is break the plane of the goal line with the football. Nothing else has to be in, just that football.
So the Tigers move to a...
There it is. He's across.
Bartell will try for the extra point. Oh, he has a strong leg. Another good kick. This is Ronchi Johnson at the 1. Football. And I believe that might be Ken Duckett. Yes, Kenny Duckett fell on that loose football to save Wake Forest some embarrassment.
Things are not happening too well for Wake Forest in the last few seconds as we see Ronchi Johnson keeping the ball on the inside arm, which that's a bad thing right there. You got to move the ball away from the defenders and keep it to the outside. Your body between there and the ball. Almost a LSU recovery. Duckett on the ball.
Charlie McClendon in his finale as the Tiger head coach. Weber is the quarterback. Tried to hit Frank Harnish, senior wide receiver from Orland Park, Illinois, but it was overthrown, and it'll be second down and 10. Next Saturday night, Birmingham, Alabama, the Hall of Fame Bowl, South Carolina and Missouri. We hope you'll join us. We expect a good football game. Howard, you'll be there. Don Perkins will be there. And I am very fortunate to be there as well. Harnish is wide right. And good coverage by that LSU secondary. Of course, the advantage is all to the defense now because they know that Weber has to go to the air.
He has to throw the ball, and they're 24 points behind. All they have to do is pin their ears back and go get the quarterback. After all, that's what the name of the game is. Go get the quarterback.
It was Bill Farrell and Dimitri Williams who sacked Weber that time for a loss of about 12 yards. Third down. Fumble by the tailback, McDougald. He recovered it, but it's going to be punt formation time, and things have been just going downhill in the fourth quarter. Wake Forest had a fine third quarter, narrowed the gap to 24-10. But 10 points here in the fourth period by LSU, and the Tigers have a very comfortable 34-10 lead. Marcus Quinn and Willie Teal are back for the expected punt from Michael Mullen. Willie Teal, fair catch, LSU 45. Personnel is made, and we'll return with more football action after these messages. And the sort of competition faced by LSU year in and year out is tribute enough to the great record of the man affectionately known by so many as Charlie Mack. Woodley picked up 3 yards on that broken play, and it's 2nd down 7. Woodley out of bounds.
You know, Ray, 3 of those 5 games that Coach McClendon lost just happened to be to 3 out of the 5 of the top schools in the nation. So he has had a pretty good record this year, even though he's lost 5 ball games. And through the 17, 18 years that he's been here, I think he's done a tremendous and an outstanding job.
This is his final game, of course, at LSU. He will be one of the coaches in the annual East-West Shrine Classic in San Francisco. For the Tigers, 3rd down and 7 at the Tiger 49-yard line. Tailback Jones was in motion. And an open field for Woodley. And he goes out of bounds at the Wake Forest 30-yard line. And David Woodley, the Shreveport, Louisiana senior, is having a truly outstanding performance in this, his final game.
There you see
at LSU.
15 attempts, 9 completions for 208 yards, and I believe he's had 2 touchdowns, if I'm not mistaken, or was it just 1?
That young lady must be a Tiger fan. 1st down, LSU. Danny Swallow, who has played very little this evening, and Elton, Louisiana Jr., is held for no gain, and it's 2nd down 10. Now we're down to less than 6 minutes remaining in the game. Larry Ingram, a junior from Winston-Salem, is in at defensive cornerback for Wake Forest. Lester Dunn is now running from that fullback spot, a freshman running back out of Covington, Louisiana, and picks up 3 yards to bring up a 3rd down and 7. Tigers of LSU with an outstanding performance in this, the climax to their 1979 season. Carson comes out wide left. Woodley just tried to float. No, it had the distance, just wide to the left, and so with 4:25 remaining, the Wake Forest Deacons will try to add to their score. Let's pause briefly for these messages. By Bob Lane, although listed as a quarterback, he played briefly this evening as a defensive back, and he comes up with a Tiger interception.
That was a poor throw by Weber. He rolled to his right. Duckett was coming across, trying to get the ball to him, and he just kind of floated the ball downfield right into Lane's arms. As Louisiana now comes up with an interception, another turnover by Wake Forest.
New quarterback, Robbie Mahfouz, a sophomore from Lafayette, a 200-pounder, 6'1". Number 15 is the new LSU quarterback. Tailback is Jesse Miles. He played in the first half and played very well. Just a freshman out of Gray, Louisiana. And I'd have to say that you coach Bo Ryan at LSU has a host of outstanding young players to depend on.
He has some outstanding people offensively and defensively. Bo Ryan, of course, I know Bo from Baltimore. He was a high draft choice at Baltimore, was up there back a few years ago when I was still there. And he'll do a good job replacing Charlie McClendon.
Second down and 5. This is Hernandez, and he gets at the most a yard before he's met by Joel Triplett, sophomore from Jonesville, North Carolina, getting an opportunity to gain very valuable experience here for John Makovich's Wake Forest Deacons. The Tigers have a 3rd and 4 at the Wake Forest 34-yard line. To the right is Wallace. He's grabbed off a couple of passes this evening. This is Jones in motion. Mahfouz is short of a first down. It'll be 4th down. The clock continues to run. Now just 2:40 left. And we're going to have about a 50-yard field goal attempt by Don Bartell. He's hit on 2 of 3. Woodley comes in to hold. Clock continuing to run. Not quite enough this time. That stops the clock with 2:09 remaining. Have more football action from the Tangerine Bowl in Orlando right after these messages. Quarterback, a new Wake Forest quarterback, Brent Offenbecker, and he gets a rude reception here on his first attempt. There's a new fullback for Wake Forest, Joe Carroll, the tailback. I thought I spotted Robbie Jones. LSU has made a number of defensive changes. Greg Bowser made that tackle. A freshman out of Franklin, Louisiana. Loss on the play, 5 yards, 2nd and 15. And banging up the middle for about 5 or 6 yards. And his opportunity to gain valuable experience is Carlos Cunningham, a freshman running back from Kannapolis, North Carolina. Hurry up offense here by Wake Forest. The last play gained 7. And a first down pass is completed to Frank Harnish.
Coach, both coaches are substituting just to get the boys in to get them in some playing time. They didn't want to come down here all the way and not have get into the ball game. A lot of people moving out of the stands. And I think the Wake Forest really has to be commended. I thought they played very well the second half, the 3rd period, especially when they came back with a quick touchdown to close the gap a little, Ray. And I think Coach John Makovich and his squad has done a tremendous job with these people.
Offenbecker back to pass. Excellent speed shown by Robert Johnson. All the way down to the LSU 30 with 1:04 left to play. Number 25, Robert Johnson. 1:04 remaining. First down, Wake Forest. Tiger 31-yard line. Offenbecker is collared from behind. Mark Ippolito made that tackle. Howard David, I think you're ready with our presentation for most valuable player, but meanwhile, Wake Forest is going without a huddle. That last play lost about 3 yards. 35 seconds left. Pass incomplete. Howard?
Okay, Ray, this is John McNally from Dean Witter Reynolds, Vice President and Branch Manager for the Florida region. John, David Woodley, our MVP.
David, on behalf of Dean Witter Reynolds, our whole organization nationwide, we'd like to present you the most valuable player for today's game. Thank you very much.
Dave, congratulations. Over 200 yards throwing the ball, scored a couple of TDs. I guess you're proud about winning the Tangerine Bowl.
Yes, sir. We really wanted to win this game, not only for the team, but for the coaches, because it's their last game at LSU.
Congratulations. Great night. Okay, Ray.
Third down, 13. Offenbecker, 30 seconds left. And that was Joe Carroll who drifted out of the backfield, the fullback now for Wake Forest, who was unable to hold on. It's fourth down coming up. Brent Offenbecker is a fourth down play with 25 seconds remaining. And just shy of a first down was the receiver, Bill Mullinax. He's another members of his coaching staff. 18 seconds left. LSU with the ball. And the LSU tailback getting an opportunity to carry is Mike Montz, freshman out of Letcher, Louisiana. And unless a timeout is called, that was the final play of the 34th annual Tangerine Bowl Classic. The LSU Tigers carrying off head coach Charlie McClendon and other members of the coaching staff in a great tribute and a show of the great emotion that was carried forth into this game by the LSU Tigers. We have reached the end of the 1979 Tangerine Bowl with the final score. LSU from you as we watch Charlie McClendon's finale and his Tigers defeat Wake Forest 34-10.
Well, I think Wake Forest was just overmatched. Charlie, of course, had his football team up sky high. They wanted to win it not only for themselves, but for Charlie and the rest of his assistants who will no longer be at LSU. I thought it was a finely played football game. I thought Wake Forest didn't have anything to be sorry for. They played as well as they possibly could in the third quarter. They made a game of it, Ray. They shut down the running game and the passing game of LSU for about the first 5 or 6 minutes, but I think LSU was just too strong for them overall.
Okay, so it was LSU leading all the way by 24-0 at halftime. I should say 24-0 at what we thought was halftime, but then on what turned out to be the final play.
He was very proud to have coached those years and this past year, and he was proud of his assistants, and he was very proud of us as we were of him. And he was not sad or anything. There was a lot of crying and sniffling going on, but he wasn't sad, and neither were we. It was just time for a change, and I'm kind of sorry to see it happen now. I'm sure Coach